welcome to another exciting edition of Community Reports on Channels Television. I'm Victoria Ido. On this episode of the show, as you can see, we're on the high sea, and I can't tell you, oh my God, my heart is in my mouth right now. And that's because we're focusing on the fishing community in Makoko. It's a very lucrative business for this set of people. And as you know, Makoko is on the coast of the mainland of Lagos. That's just on the other side of the third mainland bridge. Welcome to the show. I'm Victoria Ido. Please do enjoy. The fishing community in Makoko are made up of able-bodied men who mostly go out into the high sea, some for some days, others a few hours, some the whole day, depending on the style or method of fishing that will bring home the spoil. The women, on the other hand, are always on hand to buy the fishes off them and then resell. We'll refer to this later, but for now let's focus on the method of fishing. For educational purposes, there are several types of fishing techniques, like nodling, flounder tampering, spear fishing, angling, fly fishing, bottom fishing, ice fishing, and so many more. These methods are practiced in different parts of the world. Here in Makoko, the major ones we came across during our foray into the sea were netting. This requires the use of a fishing net. In this case, the net is cast. There are also the use of metal hooks suspended by long threads. The fisherman puts a bait which would be edible to attract the fish.
Yeah, can we go?
This method is usually the longest and the slowest, as you can only catch one fish at a time. Plus, the fisherman would need to travel deep into the sea. Trapping is another popular method carried out by fishermen in Makoko. We travel far into the sea and we meet 63-year-old Shangotunde. He arrived from Badagry several years ago. 63-year-old Shangotunde catches his fish through the trapping method. In this process, the fishing is done with traps. Basket wire fish traps are woven from branches and made so a fish can enter into it but cannot exit.
From this point, you can see a big net with sticks standing in the water. The branches are called garden trees. We cut and put them in the sea. When the leaves fall off, of course, into the sea, the fishes perceive it and go for them. When there are a number of them there, we set the net and start removing the tree branches. As that is done, the fisherman gradually moves the net till all the fishes are trapped. Look at the small net on that side. There are some fishes in it. They will continue the process till they are done, by which time the fish that is caught is enough to fill 2 boats.
This job requires that heavy-duty men and a young boy versed in the craft work in sync. Music is food for the soul. As they move the already dried branches away from the traps, they sing songs of melody in their local dialect. High up in the branches, hands in the air, a broad smile across this young lad's face. It shows how happy he is with the job he's doing. With more songs, they start throwing the dry branches back into the sea. So I wonder where these branches end up. Well, according to these experts, they say the branches sink deep into the sea. The branches let loose, they head back for some more. Now these branches, before they are cut down, will look like this. Under this very beautiful sun, this young lad enjoys the coolness of the sea while we enjoy the view. With a lot more ground to cover, the men dive into the sea to pull out branches from underneath the sea surface. While the men worked, boys will always be boys. The sound of the boat engine you hear is an attempt at driving the fishes out. Now it's time to wait. I bring down the net to get a better look. And yes, we see one jump across. And there is another one, although not sure you can see it very well. After a few minutes, one of the fishermen jumped in, hoping to catch one by hand. He jumps in towards the net's barricade with a smile on his face. You can tell he loves what he does. He goes inside and comes out at the other end. And finally, he finds one fish. Although not as many fishes as we would have loved to say, our eyes are filled with excitement as we drive off and leave the men to complete their work. The day fast spent, we begin our return journey, the fishermen and the trapping net in our rear. As we move farther away, the afternoon sun hits my eyes. The coolness of the air appears to be rushing in and gives me chills. By the way, this is what under the third mainland bridge looks like, in case you've been wondering. Gradually, we see other fishermen returning home from their fishing adventure. And yes, some are showing off their beautiful catch. On our way, we come across those who repair spoilt nets. They arrive to the waiting hands of the women who are ready to buy from them. To get a good bargain, the fisherman counts the basket of fish. Transaction done, she collects the fishes. These other women are also here for the same purpose, to buy. Now we are. We sail back to shore, but before we get to a final location, we stop at a part of Makoko where members of the community build wooden boats and nets used by the fishermen. Again, I have to put the skills I have learned to work. This comes with some hesitation. These fishermen make fishing look so easy. Doing it constantly and for a long time takes a toll on the physical appearance of the fishermen.
If you look at my hand, it's very hard because I paddle the boat.
In the past, fishermen had it easy getting different types of fishes from the sea, but now fishing these days comes with certain challenges.
So anything on va be si iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe yìí tó dẹ̀ mọ̀ pa ẹ̀ òun ló ń pè ní apẹja understand so ẹni tí wọ́n bá bí sí ìwà tó bá mọ̀ pa iṣẹ́ ẹja wọn ò lè pè ní apẹja láti ilẹ̀ láti kékeré ẹni tó ti bí sínú ẹ̀ tó dẹ̀ ti ń gbé lọ sọ́sà tó ti mọ bó ṣe ń wa ọkọ̀ tó ti mọ bó ṣe ń dẹ because bá ṣe ń dẹ àti lè pẹja yìí because àwọn ẹja yẹn wọ́n pé oríṣiríṣi.
We head back to our final destination as we see all the fishermen who are venturing into the sea to stay for the night. While some of the fishermen take their fishes home for their wives to sell in the early morning market, the fishes land in this market, the Ashajiri market in Makoko. Here you see all kinds of seafoods are sold right here. In this market you find the barracuda, the shinoses, croaker, obokun, silver codfish, red snapper, ladyfish, soulfish, all in different sizes, from the tiny, the small, the medium, the big, the moderately big, and the extremely big. The mist I experienced in my first day in this community comes from smoking of this type of fishes from a point like this. Dry woods are placed in the lower part of the oven and then ignited. In this part of the market, the large fishes are brought in, cut, cleaned, and put to sizes. Transaction starts in the wee hours of the morning and continues till early afternoon. Constantly, the women call for customers, hoping one or two will stop by their stall. As we move around, we come across some foreigners taking pictures of the fishes. We follow them around and realize there are quite a number of them in the market. I tried to ask a few questions, but they declined to make comment. Seafoods like crabs and lobsters also find their place in this market. I ran into Ibinabo Rukwemeka. She owns a seafood restaurant in Lagos. She tells me that this is where she gets her seafood every other 3 days.
This is my regular market. I come here almost like maybe 3 times in a week because I own a seafood restaurant. So I come here to get my fresh produce from the markets, from Makoko market, because this is like the freshest you can get anywhere in Lagos. This is where they bring it directly from the waters and straight into their tables. I've been coming here for like three years now. The market is cool, but I think it needs a little bit more improvement anyways. Like, you know about the Falomore other markets that they sell seafood? Okay, that market is more arranged. So I think the government can do something about this one just to make it more easy for people to buy.
The beauty of this market is that all of the fishes you see are from the high sea behind this market. If the government decides to empower these people, it will improve their productivity greatly. Okay, so this is it for Community Reports this week. As you can see, I'm sure you're hearing the excitement in my voice, even though you saw the fear in my eyes when we first started. But it's all over now. We're going home, and this is Community Reports coming to an end. So this is me signing out. But before I sign out, I want you to understand something. There is a need to better equip the fishing community in Makoko area of Lagos State so they can have better yields and in turn improve the economy. So this is me saying bye-bye from here. If you have any comments, please send it to the social media handles showing on your screen. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.